everybody. Welcome once again to another edition of Gaffing the Truth. My name is Jeff with the G, and with me is my good friend right here, Scabs the Clown. How's it going, Scabs?
It's going. It's going. It's definitely it's definitely Monday night.
Yes, yes, it is definitely Monday night. So today, um, well, actually, before that, you're playing the catch up. So, how was your weekend? How did everything go? I know you had the last day of the haunt, which was Friday the 13th, and then you were doing something with Little Kiki. Is that right?
Yeah, it was. I was doing a lot of mostly I was doing like walk around stuff with Lil Kiki at the Lil Kiki show. Michael 5000 Watts was there. A lot of cool rappers. Um, I tried to get Michael Watts to stand on me on a bed in hills, and he refused. It's
Well, that
unfortunate,
makes
but
sense.
it's
So,
well. I mean, no, he was more worried about his size, and I was like, I've had way bigger dudes than you stand on me. It's okay. And he was like, no, I won't do it. I'll support you and I'll enjoy your show, but I won't do it. It's like, okay. But I got a picture with him, so that's cool.
there you go. Uh, that's a lot of fun. And then I know there's some up and coming stuff from the Holy Water Enema, which I can't wait to see part of. I don't want to get into that too much, but just everybody know there's more stuff coming from Holy Water Enema.
Yep. We recorded
I don't
a
know
music
why,
video. Recorded a music video for Diarrhea.
because of all things it needs a video for. You think Shakespeare, you think Hemingway, and then you think diarrhea,
Yep,
diarrhea.
diarrhea. It affects everybody at some point.
It's true, yeah. So
What about you?
today,
Anything fun and crazy this weekend?
actually, no, today was like actually I had the last couple of days off, which was really nice. It was like my first like it was like I didn't have to worry about a move. It's post Halloween. I just had 2 days of which to do very little. Uh, Mostly what I do is I film stuff for the upcoming Give a Hoot special, which is going to be happening at the end of this month,
Right on.
uh, which is going to be a lot of fun. There's some really good people on that show, and then they put me on there. So that's what I do. Is I film my stuff for that. I'm working on some editing, adding in some music and stuff like that, so that way it looks really cool and professional.
Nice.
It's going to be good. But otherwise, just not that exciting. Because COVID, so I don't go out and do anything. I stay home. I'm also
But
not cool enough to. I'm also not cool enough to get invited by rappers to come be a part of their shows. So, although I did work with a guy for costuming for his video. There's a rapper here in Austin who's filming a music video, and I helped costume him for his video shoot on Tuesday tomorrow.
right on.
So that was kind of cool. I'm getting to know these people, but just in very different contexts. That's so cool. So today we wanted to talk about something new and different and weird, which doesn't get a lot of play. I mean, which is really weird. I mean, like pop culture wise, it gets talked about, but not in the extent that we want to talk about. And so we want to talk about trolls. And we're not talking about the fuzzy-headed, like cutesy things that sing songs and are named after, being voiced by Justin Timberlake.
Are you sure? Because it's a plastic doll with very up combed hair depicting a troll, also known as a dam doll after their creator, Danish woodcutter Thomas Dam. The toys are also known as good luck trolls or gonk trolls in the United Kingdom. The
Yeah,
dolls were first created in 1959 and became one of the United States' biggest toy fads in the early 1960s. They became briefly popular again during the 1970s through the 90s and were copied by several manufacturers under different names. During the 1990s, several video games and video shows were created and based on troll dolls. In 2003, the damn company restored the United States copyright for its brand, stopping unlicensed production. In 2005, the damn company modernized the brand under the name Trolls with a Z, but it failed in that marketplace. In 2013, the brand was bought by DreamWorks Animation with an animated feature film called Trolls being released in 2016. But that's not what we're talking about. I just wanted to get the troll doll lore out of the way.
just want to dance, 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 because that's the song. Uh, No, not that, or even Trolls World Tour, which was one of the movies that was impacted by COVID and got released via streaming versus or on demand services. Actually, it was, I think, I remember correctly, it was the first major Hollywood release that was done under on demand services, and it made like a ton of money. But this is also at the beginning of the shutdown, so people really starved for anything and everything. Now they
Yeah.
don't
So
care.
give the people what they want: a Trolls movie.
The Trolls sequel, no less.
Yeah. Right.
I saw the
Hey,
first one. It was all right.
I didn't see either of them. I did see. Oh, what was the one with the? I guess they were kind of like trolls. It was a sweet movie. Forgot what it was called, but
There's
another.
Box Trolls, which is
No,
the
it wasn't
Lego
Box
Star
Trolls. I
Wars
remember
movie.
Box
That was
Trolls.
really
It was
good.
um something bound coming home. I don't remember, but about like a couple of troll dudes who were like looking for their dead dad.
Onward.
Onward. That's it. Yeah, that
That's
was a
the
pretty cute
Pixar
movie.
film. Yeah, that was the Pixar film that got pushed to Disney Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and basically it's like fantasy became modern, and like how magic, like so all these fantastical creatures just mundane as shit and
Mm-hmm.
trying to find magic. Yeah, I watched that too. Yeah, Chris Pratt, Tom Holland as the brothers, which were a lot of fun. Um, too bad Chris Pratt's kind of a shit, but
Yeah. Actually, trolls wouldn't like him at all. Trolls are actually averse to Christians. They don't like them.
that's right. Yeah, it's one thing to be a cool Christian, but it's another thing to be like one of the. We're getting off topic, but that's okay. We're gonna do it here. So people don't understand what I'm talking about, but people are gonna be watching later. All right, research the Hillsong Church. They are notoriously anti-gay, and they have all sorts of other weird, crazy stuff. They're like two steps from the Mormon Church when it comes to their cult-like status stuff. Uh, and about five from Scientology because Scientology is like this far below Trumpism, but yeah, but as far as when it comes to the cult stuff, so it's just crazy as far as what's going on. Yeah, the Hillsong Church, uh, and their band who has like something like 30 albums out, and they're not good. And I mean, to be fair, I'm not a huge person into Christian music, but I can still appreciate a good sound, and it doesn't sound good either. So anyway, and then he dumped Anna Faris, which Anna Faris, amazing stuff. Anyway, back on track to what we're talking about. We're talking about trolls like Scandinavian, uh, Northern European folklore. Where
Yeah.
my people, this is where my people come from. And I'm like half
Yeah.
Swedish, so
From Google, it says a troll in early Scandinavian folklore, giant monstrous beings, sometimes possessing magic powers, hostile to men. Trolls lived in castles and haunted the surrounding districts after dark. If exposed to sunlight, they burst or turn to stone. That's why the I just came across this too. Trolls are often described as strong, evil, and dangerous giants. They were ugly with large noses and eyes the size of plates, and often had several heads or just one eye. Gods and humans were their enemies, and they were angered by the smell of Christian blood.
well, I mean, it's fair.
Yeah. The
Well,
no, the what was it? The them turning to stone in uh in the sunlight. That kind of accounts for mountain trolls because trolls come in like all sizes. Like there's ones I think the smallest trolls say they're about the size of an average human, so 5 to 6 feet tall. Or there's ones that are 20 feet tall. Or literally, there's legends about certain mountains are actually trolls because once trolls are exposed to sunlight, they turn to rocks. They go dormant. So these giant mountains are actually trolls that couldn't hide in time to get away from the sunlight and were transformed into stone and became a mountain. And one of the weird things about that, I remember reading this a long time ago. They think that those mountain trolls that were converted into a mountain are like mountains where you can find gold is usually because it was a troll, because gold doesn't like just like isn't deposits, there's not like a chunk of gold here, a chunk of gold there. Gold's actually in veins throughout rocks, and they think that that's their blood that turned to gold.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There are lots of other minerals that do that too, but
Nope, just gold.
Just go.
Giant
Okay.
blood.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't happen with anything else like, silver, copper. I think even diamonds you discovered that way too. But whatever.
Nope, just gold. Just giant's blood.
Okay.
Troll is a term used to describe various supernatural beings in Nordic folklore and storytelling traditions, and has roots in Norse mythology. Both appearance and characteristics can vary, but the creatures are often both dangerous and stupid. They tend to live in wilderness and areas inaccessible to man, such as mountain caves, dense forests, and the ocean. I don't think I've ever heard of an ocean troll.
I've heard stuff like sea like there's some old like Norse tales that which I cannot recall off the top of my head because I don't believe in other than a very base level as far as research. But I do remember reading about some stuff. It's not so much the sea itself, but right there on the beach and in the water sort of stuff, like sea hags and that sort of shit, just at the water, but not like deep water.
Yeah.
There's some beach tales that have to deal with some of that sort of stuff. I want to say like some like Beowulf shit and things like that if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I remember that video that was going around where I guess like there was a cave or like a rock protruding out of the ocean, and it had a cave in it, and there were people boating by it, and there were monsters, trolls that were out there playing music and doing something in the waters, like some kind of ritual, and everybody thought it was real. And it's like, you think that this is real, but these people are just kind of going right next to it, and they're not making any noise, they're not terrified. It's a performance, but it went viral, and the internet's like, bro, if you can't put on the internet if it's not true. So there's real trolls out by the ocean. I don't remember where that was. I want to say it was like Australia or somewhere with warm enough water. Like, I don't think you can like go just swim the beaches of Norway. Doesn't seem very warm.
Depends on the time of year.
Yeah, true.
In the height of summer, you can go. I mean, it's like it's I think the height of summer you're around the like upper 70s, lower 80s. That's still beach. You
Mm-hmm.
can still rock the beach then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Peer Gynt's troll. Trolls featured in Nordic literature and art and music during the Romantic period in the 1800s, as well as later on. The most famous maybe are those in Theodore Kittleson's fairy tale illustrations and in Henrik Ibsen's dramatic poem Peer Gynt from 1867. I don't know the poem, but isn't that one classical song Peer Gynt where it's the dun 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 dun. Isn't that Peer Gynt, or am
that's
I thinking of something else?
oh shit. It's a different. It's like the March of the something. I can't remember. Uh, no, I know what you're talking about, but I don't recall the name of that one. It's It's
Let's see.
God damn it! Now I'm gonna get stuck on that. I'm gonna like we'll keep talking about other stuff. I'll come
Peer
back to
Gynt Suite number 1, Opera 46. I'm gonna see if I can play this loud enough for me, but not loud enough to get flagged.
No, it's classical music.
So we should be okay. There's an ad for
The only way it
there's an
might
ad
get
for the
flagged,
Mandalorian.
that would get flagged.
Okay, it's still a well-known song, right? I already know what it is. Can you hear it?
I can hear it. That's a more pastoral thing.
Yeah.
You're thinking of much more dun 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 dun. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just
Yeah, I thought that one was called Peer Gynt, but I guess I'm wrong.
well, Peer Gynt is still a famous thing, which is why you were thinking,
Yeah,
which is fair. I mean, it's another very calm.
yeah,
It's another one of those, but it's a lot more. I
yeah.
thought it was something
And that
else though.
one's Peer
I
Gynt
thought it was
Suite
some.
number one, OP 46 by Grieg.
Ah, Greg. Actually, I'm a big fan of Greg when it comes to that sort of like he's.
Uh,
I like his work.
what does Peer Gynt mean in English? It's Norwegian, a five-act play in verse by the Norwegian dramatist Henrik Ibsen, published in 1867, written in Danish, the common written language of Denmark and Norway's in Ibsen's lifetime. It is one of the most widely performed Norwegian plays. Thanks. That's what it means in English.
Ibsen is. I was. Ibsen's a really good playwright. I really enjoyed his stuff. And
Yeah.
when I went to school for theater, and we had a chance to do read some Ibsen stuff, and I really dug and had a lot of fun with that. So check out to Ibsen stuff as far as a playwright, and apparently his stuff about troll stuff because that's a you know
I'm more of a Tchaikovsky guy.
Tchaikovsky's all right. He's overplayed. He's like pop music for classical
Yeah.
music.
Classical pop music.
Is is like the country
Yeah.
music of classical.
Yeah, just came across this. Trolls were originally creatures in Norwegian legend. We already said that. They were thought to be huge, evil, and dangerous, having a taste for human flesh. Sometimes, however, they could interact with people peacefully. They generally lived in forests, mountains, and in caves or among rocks. They were often referred to as hoarding large amounts of gold and silver, which they had presumably stolen. Laying one's hands on these treasures was one of the chief rewards of getting the better of them. So, trolls being really stupid, they were tricked easily, and that's how people found them and got away from them and were able to tell the stories of trolls that they found in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. um some modern scholars have also proposed another origin for such stories. As modern humans spread across Europe from 5,000 years ago, they encountered other races of humans whom we now call the Neanderthals. These were large, heavy-jawed, heavy-browed people, though with a brain as large as ours. The care with which they buried their dead suggests they had similar emotions to those of our ancestors, and they had imagination enough to grasp the idea of an afterlife. They were not the half humans the early archaeologists painted them as. The hell? That's weird. Uh, there is no particular evidence that our ancestors systematically slaughtered the Neanderthals, but within a few thousand years, all the Neanderthals were dead. So, origin of trolls could have been Neanderthals.
Now the Neanderthals they assimilated into Homo sapiens. They've already proven that there's a lot of Neanderthal DNA within humanity, so they just fucked them in. But it's so nice to think. Um, what I find interesting as I was doing stuff, the Monica my research, one is that a lot of people attribute a lot of
What?
a lot of modern Scandinavian natural uh, landmarks to being the bodies of these turned to stone trolls or to the burial mounds of trolls and et cetera, et cetera.
Hmm.
And the fact is, they talk about different ways on why trolls no longer exist in that area, ranging from Thor driving them out because uh, trolls are supposedly scared of lightning due to Thor's constant battles with trolls, and
Scared of
apparently
lightning.
Scandinavia has a lot of lightning. Uh, also, because when the church came in, trolls left because they didn't like the sound of church bells.
Yeah, I was reading that as well. The church bells, like, I guess it's a whole Christian thing again. What the hell is going on with my phone right now?
I don't know.
It's not charging. It's acting weird.
Did you just get a new phone?
Yeah, but like my charger crapped out, and I'm using a different charger right now. And it's
Using like
like your
some
phone's dying. So if I like cut off halfway through the show, I apologize, but my phone is just not charging right now.
Yeah, if you're using like a third-party charger for some phones, it doesn't work that well. And you may have some dust or lint into your charging port, which sometimes can hamper your charging. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
So
Let me see about doing it this way. If this will work. But we were talking
hey,
last week about the movie. Like, we were just saying there's other like the Trolls Worldwide or World Tour or whatever. Like,
yeah,
and that other movie, like, there's not much. There's some like kind of buns you can find on like Netflix or like a $5 bin at a Walmart. But like the one we were talking about was the movie Troll Hunter.
yeah.
And I love that movie. Like, I can't get anybody to watch that movie with me. They're like, it's subtitles. I don't want to watch it. It's like, screw you. This is an amazing movie.
Well, yeah, it's subtitles, but it's not like there's a lot of talking. I mean, there's some, but
No.
like it's not like they're just like quoting the phone book. There's some talking, and after 5 minutes, you don't even notice subtitles anymore. No, it's really good. I really enjoyed Troll Hunter. I saw it when it first came out, and it's like probably I think that was the great cap for like found footage film. I think like there's some good found footage films and there's some really bad ones, and that's
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the really good ones. I think once that one came out, I'm going, dude, there's nothing else you can do as far as found footage. It's gonna be like this is really it is. One is like can't think of any other reasons why to have one, and two is I go it's so well done for something. I mean, they took like it was like a weird, like almost Cloverfield approach for how they made the film too. So it's just really well done, and so I really liked it a lot. So yeah, check it
Yeah.
out, Troll Hunter, everybody. I think what we discovered that I think you have to rent. I think you actually have to physically rent it from some sort of streaming site. I don't think it's available anywhere. And what is going on here?
Turning my phone off so I don't die on you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's screwed. I was going. Oh, because it moved. Because I have everything preset. There we go. There we go. First thing I got really confused because it messed with the.
Oh, cool. And it's got my partner's name instead of mine. That's awesome.
Well, now it's set up so that way can just see. Well, everybody can. They only can kind of see it. They can just see the our Instagram tags. So make sure you
Yeah.
track us down through Instagram if you have any questions or concerns. I track it more than Scavs does,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, I'm more on Facebook.
I do both. But it's just everybody likes pictures better, which is why I just do the Instagram because
Yeah, I feel that.
nobody likes to read.
Yeah.
I could put our Parlor. Do you have a Parlor account? We could put that on there.
No, I can't find the
I
website because I spell it right.
Yeah. Well, actually, Parlor is a type that's more like parlay parlor versus a parlor like you go to sit down in a parlor.
Yeah, I like the other one better.
But it's one of those things. I go, I would want to do it, but I would want to do as at her underscore emails, but I don't think they would approve that.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Their favorite thing is racism, apparently. And
That's
that's why all the people are going there so they can, you know, say what they want. They can they can crack their knuckles and then bam, there's that letter N right there.
yeah, that's the weird thing about what's as we get off topic because you know what, we're still talking trolls here, just a different
Hmm.
sort of troll. Uh,
Yeah, these are internet trolls.
uh, But yeah, we're talking internet trolling. But it's no, it's I had to talk to somebody. They go, why? It's they're violating our freedom of speech. I go, well, how? They go, well, I can't say what I want to say. I go, what do you really want to say? Well, nothing. I really. I go,
Yeah,
then why do you care? Well, they're stopping so and so for saying thing. Well, why is that a bad thing? Well, it's infringing their freedom. So you say it's okay to say a certain thing? Well, no. I go, or they go, well, they're taking down their thing because what they're saying. They go, well, what they're saying is a lie, and they're being called out on it. Why is
yeah.
that a? bad thing. And
Yeah.
so far nobody's really other than the saying, well, it's just not cool to do that. I go, well, it's I mean that's they're lying and you're saying it's true, so they're getting called out on it.
Yeah. I just looked it up. In internet slang, a troll is a person who starts flame wars or intentionally upsets people on the internet by posting inflammatory and digressive, extraneous, or off-topic messages in an online community such as a news group, forum, chat room, or blog, with the intent of provoking readers into displaying emotional responses and normalizing tangential discussion either for the troll's amusement or a specific gain. Both the noun and the verb forms of troll are associated with internet discourse. However, the word has also been used more widely. Media attention in recent years has equated trolling with online harassment. For example, the mass media have used troll to mean a person who defaces internet tribute sites with the aim of causing grief to families. In addition, depictions of trolling have been included in popular fictional works such as HBO television program The Newsroom, in which a main character encounters harassing persons online and tries to infiltrate their circles by posting negative sexual comments.
Yeah,
That's what Wikipedia has to say about internet trolls.
yeah. It's people just causing shit for the sake of causing shit.
Yeah.
I think in 5 years we're not going to call it trolling anymore. We're going to call it trumping. Hey,
Uh,
political comment from me. I've long said my opinions on that, so you can watch my
yeah.
show on Wednesdays, The Devil's Hour, and you'll see me littered with me talking shit. So, but back to our Scandinavian brethren, because that's half the fun is when you're talking about this type of troll.
Yeah.
What's some other fun stuff? What's really
I got
weird? What's up?
I got one.
Yeah.
There's an O, or I'm probably going to say this wrong, but because the O has a slash through it, so maybe it's Njoken or Njoken. But his name means the neck. In old legends, the neck is a water spirit depicted as frightening evil creature who wait, why do you pop up? Both demons. No, go away. What the hell are you doing? Stop blocking my shit. Look, oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Knocking the neck. Water spirit depicted as frightening evil creature, which is related to both demons and people of the underworld. He lives by the water's edge and lures humans and animals into the water, especially after sunset, and is particularly dangerous to babies who have not been christened and pregnant women. However, he can also be sad creature living in loneliness and complaining about not being able to receive salvation and go to heaven.
Okay.
How much of a troll, buddy? Let's see.
You want me to? Okay, this should be fun. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to see if I can do this correctly. I pulled up a little ninth century skald, which is a poet slash bard from the time period. And so his name, Bragi Boddason, said this. And so I'm gonna try this in Old Norse. I probably butcher some of it, but I can take a little bit of this. But it comes out trolls. So Trokala mik trungel Sjötrangnes är sångjättons. Av solarbol valsin volo för nafjärder fjällsig himins kvatstroll nimapat. I
Good
probably
job.
butchered the fuck out of that, but that's fun. And basically, it's trolls. Call me Moon of Dwelling Rugnir, Giants Wealth Sucker, Storm Sun's Bale, Sirius's friendly companion, Guardian of Corpse Fjord, Swallower of Heaven Wheel. What is a troll other than that?
Hmm.
I'm in the middle of playing just for watchers. I picked up Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so I'm like really just knee deep in all this shit. So I've been really in that respect been loving it. I haven't
Nice.
met a troll yet in the game, but I'm sure it's coming.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I found a movie that everyone knows and loves, or has traumatized by, that featured a type of troll, and I never knew this character's name until right now. Um, Zark.
Okay.
No, anybody? um, Zark is a member of the rock chewers and lives on a diet of only rocks. One bite is enough to
Uh,
get most rock chewers to the end of the month. All rock chewers use stone for everything they need, from furniture to toys or vehicles.
these hands, not
Such strong
something,
hands.
nothing. I know he's a rock chewer. I didn't remember that was or the rock bite, a rock eater.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
rock chewer, rock biter, rock eater. It actually says all of those on here.
yeah, it's the never-ending story, everybody.
Yeah. I just thought of that
Uh,
one randomly. I'm like, wait a
uh,
second.
uh, there are trolls in The Witcher 3, which are very much the dim-witted, kind of larger than human sort of size, but just by much. Um, there's talk that the English parlance of ogre is really just is really just trolls and another, by another name.
Ogre's the dude from Skinny Puppy.
Ogre is the dude from Revenge of the Nerds.
God, I haven't seen that movie in so long, and I doubt it aged well at all.
Oh, there's that whole weird rapey scene midway through. That yeah, no. I mean, it's one of those. Again, if you just
Like Porky's,
yeah,
like
that's
that movie was funny when I was a kid, and then you watch it as an adult, you're like, man, this movie's kind of racist and rapey and kind of really fucked up.
well. I mean, it's the racism was against the heroes, so that's kind of fits in. I mean, that's one of those weirds. It wasn't like the hero, but yeah, one of the heroes was kind of rapey. Uh,
Yeah,
but for the time, that wasn't. I mean, it's sometimes you have to watch these things. You have to go for the time,
yeah,
and this was the type of thing it was, and you have to. It was just. It was one of those.
yeah,
It was just one of those like like all right, cool. This thing, this thing, this thing. It's trope, and
yeah,
that's one of the trope things was.
yeah. One of the parts of the movie in the beginning, like they're talking, and like their friend comes up and he goes, "Hey, did y'all get the N-word fella for tonight?" And he's like, "Don't call him that. He's a colored man." It's like, whoa. It's like this movie did not age well at all.
Dude, but it's got fucking Bernie Casey in it. It's like is the head of the Triland as which is fucking black exploitation master Bernie Casey.
Oh yeah. Speaking of
And
black
so that's good.
exploitation,
And then Levon, who is not only their black representation, but also Blackula. There you go, or Black
mhm,
Dracula.
yeah, yeah. Scream, Blackula, Scream. That was black exploitation. There was also Blackenstein too.
Blackenstein, yeah. There's what's funny, like Blackula. Off topic is the guy who played Blackula, whose name escapes me at the moment. But like he's like a serious like Shakespearean actor, like super
Mhm.
serious. Like he's like next level. There were people in American regular exploitation films, not exploitation films, but in regular films of the time who could not act like he could. He could act circles around them, and he was
Oh
stuck doing that bullshit.
yeah, yeah. But it paid.
That's what it came down to. I mean,
I think that's what he said about it. They're like, "Why'd you do it?" He was like, "They gave me money, basically."
yeah, because Shakespeare doesn't pay dick. It's
Nope.
just
That's probably how
yeah,
you
so
get paid
especially for
in
the time
Shakespeare.
period, theater was not. I mean, medieval theater today isn't huge, but like you did it because you love doing it. You made if you make do enough to make your rent, you're happy, and that's usually most people make. And even today, a lot of people acting today in New York and stuff like that make enough to make rent.
Yeah, and it feels like I'm looking at this stuff. Like every website I've gone to pretty much says the exact same thing. This one is a little more in depth though. What are trolls like? Huge and dangerous. They have been but trolls had a major weak point: their low intelligence. Some stories make them clever at building and making things of stone and metal, but they were easily outwitted by heroes with courage and cunning. Heroes often showed treachery and extreme cruelty in what they did. That was okay. Their victims were only trolls after all. In most stories, trolls merely appear as the foils of heroes and are not really described in any detail. Where their features are referred to, they appear very differently. For example, one story mentions a fight with some trolls in which one has 6 heads and another 9, which are, of course, all lopped off. But most stories have trolls as larger and uglier versions of fairly standard humans. The main purpose of most of the stories is to provide a stage for a hero's exploits. The hero is often the youngest of 3 sons, as in our tale. The other brothers see him as good for nothing. However, he shows courage and cunning, whilst his brothers are useless. The hero ends up getting the better of the troll. His reward is the troll's treasure, the king's daughter, and half the kingdom to boot. The troll still appears in modern times. For example, in J.R.R. Tolkien's book The Hobbit, the hero, Bilbo Baggins, and his dwarf companions encounter 3 trolls in a forest, and the dwarfs fall into the troll's trap, but they are saved by Bilbo, who gets the trolls to argue amongst themselves. They are so busy arguing that they do not notice the sun rising. Man, now that movie's ruined for me. I've never seen it.
That's okay.
I've never
I'm
seen Lord of
not
the
a
Rings either.
fan. I'm not a fan. I mean, Lord of the Rings was just 3 films of walking,
Yeah.
and the last movie, the movie ended an hour before the movie ended.
How so? I've kind of heard that before, but I don't know enough about the movie.
So the main tension was them, because it's all about the ring and destroying the ring. So the ring gets destroyed, and then basically they have like 19 endings after that about where everybody goes and stuff like that, which could have been easily tied up like a lot quicker. But no, they had to go into depth about all this sort of stuff and just like it's just. I'm not a fan. I've never been a fan. There's only one true trilogy when it comes to it comes to fantasy, and that of course is
Star Wars.
Yep, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Mhm. And yeah, I agree. It is fantasy, not sci-fi.
It borders both, and so because
Mhm.
it relies more on mythology versus science, and George Lucas tried to overcorrected with the prequels, trying to make more sciency and less mythology. So he went, oh no, it is more science fiction, and just way overcorrected. And with the last 3, it kind of hit that balance again. Kind of it went more of a balance between the two. And then there's like
Yeah.
fucking Mandalorian, which is just fucking killing it right now.
Oh yeah, I'm loving that show. It's actually what I'm doing when I finish up here. We're gonna have dinner and watch the new episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh, it's good.
I'm really hoping there's more Baby Yoda genocide in this one.
Everyone's so
I'm
upset
so
about
glad
it. And
the
I'm just
internet.
going, dude, it's like a toddler, and it sees a thing it likes. It's like a toddler seeing candy.
Yeah,
Have you been around kids, like little kids, who see a thing they want to eat?
yeah, and you
They're
tell
gonna
them
try to
no, and they're just
fucking eat
like,
it.
okay.
That's what people
Yeah,
feel like. Oh, I can't believe it does it. It's a fucking toddler.
yeah.
How can you be
Also,
mad at a toddler?
it's fantasy. It's a space western. It's not real.
And maybe that
Uh,
frog person doesn't need to have their life, their
yeah.
their
What if
bloodline
those
continued.
frog
They
people
have
are
to.
actually an invasive species, and those frogs that are born are going to keep reproducing and take over that whole planet?
Could be.
That wouldn't surprise me, honestly.
Uh, maybe
That-
they grow. I go. Maybe they. Oh wait, there's stuff in the new episode that I can't talk about because it drops every Friday, so I watch it. I always watch it Friday morning. So
yeah, it's been a busy weekend.
well, that's fair. But now you're done.
Hmm.
Woohoo!
Well, for the most part, we've got the end of the season party at the haunted house this weekend. So, I mean, I get to
Yeah,
go up
that's
there.
not the same.
Yeah, I get to do one more show. Actually, it'll be a little better because like the crowd will be responsive because they hear about the freak show all the time, but they never get to see it.
For the because you're performing for the performers.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Just Broken and I. Chris P will be his son is getting married. Congratulations, Seth.
Good
I didn't
show.
get an
Good.
invite, but that's okay. I don't care. Whatever. Fuck you. No, that's totally fine. I'm sure they kept it, very close family because of what's going on.
As we get off subject, and because fuck it, we will. I just read an
Yeah.
article where there was a wedding in Maine that happened back in August, and it was a super spreader of it. Basically, it was like 55 people attended, but it's had over 130 reported cases so far, and something like 12 deaths all come from this one wedding. Started at this one wedding. From there,
Oh
people
my
got
God.
sick, and then people left, and one person got sick and was working at like a long assisted living facility and got those people sick. Another person worked in
Oh
like
my
a
God.
correctional and like got people sick at a couple of correctional, so on and so forth. It's just don't go out, people.
Yeah. And if you do go out, wear a mask, wash your hands.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, like everybody was close together. Nobody wore masks at this event as well. So yeah, so stay home. My niece's husband he's currently sitting at a month of being sick with COVID, and there's still no sign of him being out of it. I just found that out today.
Wow.
That was fun. So it's real.
Yeah. Mm. Sounds rough, man.
Oh yeah. So I've been chatting with her, going, yeah, this is what I've heard, and I do know a few people who went long term sick, and I go, this is what they've been dealing with and how they've been coping with it. I mean, we have a mutual friend that lives out in L.A.
Mm.
who she's still suffering issues from it. I mean, she's not sick
Oh,
anymore,
wow.
but like it triggered all a lot of her other problems that just exacerbated. So
Yeah.
anyway, this is what we wanted to talk about was nice heavy shit like this on Gaffing the Truth, right?
Well, acting the truth. In later Scandinavian folklore, trolls became beings in their own right, where they live far from human habitation, are not Christianized, and are considered dangerous to human beings depending on the source. Their appearance varies greatly. Trolls may be ugly and slow-witted, or look and behave exactly like human beings, with no particularly grotesque characteristics about them.
So
Trolls
basically,
are sometimes associated with particular landmarks in Scandinavian folklore, which at times may be explained as formed from a troll exposed to sunlight. Trolls are depicted in a very variety of media and modern popular culture.
yeah, I mentioned that earlier. The fact is like there are a lot of
Mhm.
weird landmarks in Scandinavia and Denmark and stuff like that where they go, oh yeah, no, that's where a troll became stone and shit like that, like
Yeah,
some
it's a
famous
mountain
rock
troll,
or
or like
yeah,
like you're like, oh, you see that rock face, and it kind of looks like a profile of a person. Troll.
a troll.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's the only way.
yeah. But yeah, like the fact is like, oh yeah, basically it's like people live out in the woods who don't like to deal with
Mhm.
civilized folks, aka pagans, are all trolls.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it was to get you.
they
It
might
was
look
just
just
a
like
way
you
to
and
keep
me,
people
except
away.
yeah, that's.
Mhm.
I mean, I would too, man. Just like but then again, on the other side, I guess I actually like having the weird people want to come and talk to me about their church, but I'm weird that way.
Yeah.
But I know some
Mhm.
people who don't like those people coming in and going, "Have you heard about the word of?" And then they'll just slam the door. So those are trolls.
Yeah, and I wonder if it's just because like it's Christian blood and they can't be around Christians and Christians kill them, is because they'd find some people in the woods and they'd be like, hey, we're gonna convert you, and they're like, no. And they're like, yeah, but no, and then they end up throwing rocks at him or being mean to him or trying to kill him, and they're like, there's monsters in the woods that tried to kill us, but they were afraid of our Christianity. Must have been trolls. When it's just pagans or cave folk.
People just want to be left alone. Yeah, sometimes it has
Yeah,
nothing to do with it. Could have been even Christian. They just might just be like, no, there might be I mean, by that point in time, Christianity was already splintering into different sects, so it might be going. Dude, you're talking Catholicism. I don't believe in that bullshit.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if like that's a thing. Like, did trolls like were they averse to Catholics or Muslims or any other religious people, religion in general, or
Um,
just Christians? Because Christians are the most persecuted religion history has ever known.
that's according to the bylaws of Parlor.
That sounds about right. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much like it just says the same thing all over and over. I could
It's
try.
weird. Unless you want to deep dive into like the actual mythological tales. I mean, everything you're
I
saying
mean,
has been pretty much generalized as far as what most people like. Most like I don't want to say historical because there's nothing historical, but
yeah.
most basic mythology as far as the type of creature troll is, as we've explained. Mostly they tend to
Mm,
be bigger than humans. It varies anywhere from being slightly bigger to a lot bigger.
mm,
The rock turning into rock has been a very common trait for a lot of mythology.
mm,
Fear of fire and lightning has also been a very common thing as well.
mm.
Fire has been one also known fighter against trolls. Normal blades and whatnot tend to be ineffective because they're rocks, although how fire
Yeah,
can
I mean,
affect rocks too.
they work pretty good on like humans or dogs or pretty much anything you throw a rock or fire at doesn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing about is fire is really good against most things.
Mm.
So
Yeah, except more fire. You can't put a fire out with fire very well.
that's not true. They can do break gaps of fires can control fire. So I mean that's a
Yeah,
popular firefighting technique when fighting forest fires.
yeah, but you're not going to pour fire onto fire and expect it to go out.
I mean, I guess that's true in that respect. That unless you
That's
want
what
to
I
burn
was
it
getting at.
brighter so it burns itself out. I guess. I mean,
Yeah, that's like this fire's hotter. Take that, like take
my
that colder
fire's hotter
fire.
than your fire, man. Let's see how I handle this heat, motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay, here's something Norse mythology. Like I could try to read some of this stuff and just butcher it horribly.
Oh yes, that's our
Okay,
that's like we butcher everything. So
yeah, in Norse mythology, troll like Thurs. Ah, no, go away. I hate it when you like leave your mouse on something on Wikipedia and it's like, oh, open this link. It's like, no, don't open that link. Like Thurs is a term applied to Jotnar and is mentioned throughout the Old Norse corpus. In Old Norse sources, trolls are said to dwell in isolated mountains, rocks, and caves, sometimes live together, usually as a father, daughter, and mother and son. Well, father and daughter, or mother and son. So I guess never really together like a full family. And troll divorce must be wild. Um, they're rarely described as helpful or friendly. The Pros Edda book, Skaldskaparmel, describes an encounter between an unarmed troll woman with the 9th century Skald Bragi Boddason. According to the
that's what I
section,
quoted a little bit ago.
yeah, Bragi was driving through a certain forest late one night, and the troll woman aggressively asked him who he was, in the process describing herself.
And that was what I quoted from a second ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
there's a
it's really interesting. Like
translation. There's a translation on this one. Did you get the translation?
that's what I said after I did the original thing.
Okay,
Then I
yeah,
did the translation. Yeah. So yeah, what's really cool, like really weird. Like, the fact is, it's troll father, daughter, or mother, son. That's a
yeah,
really fucked up, like weird incest troll porn right there.
yeah. Oh, God, I'm gonna have to look that up. Not
Rule
right now. I'll wait.
34.
Wait till we're done. Oh man, we didn't even talk
Rule
about.
34. I'm sure there probably is something.
Yeah. Oh God, it's just gonna be like furries, but in giant troll doll costumes. Bjergfolk, that's mountain folk in Norwegian, and Trollfolk and Tusser. Yeah. So there's mountain folk and troll folk.
Yeah.
Mm. Um, I just saw it and I scrolled past it. Yeah, I mean, one thing we didn't talk about for the popular troll stuff was Beowulf.
Oh yeah, I said Beowulf. Like, yeah, Beowulf is a little bit of it because deals with some stuff, and then like Grendel could be construed as a troll as well.
Yeah,
Because the tale of Grendel, Grendel was a terribly smart, but he's very vicious. His mother, on the other hand, that's what we need more of. I mean, I know they did the animated movie with like Angelina Jolie and stuff like that like 10, 15 years ago. That is a
Yeah,
motherfucking story. Fuck
yeah,
Lord of the Rings. More
yeah.
Beowulf.
Hell yeah, I'd rather watch. I mean, hell, I'd rather watch the Beowulf movie than watch fucking Lord of the Rings.
I mean, I like a lot of the actors in Lord of the Rings. I just don't like those movies. I mean,
Yeah,
I didn't care for the books.
never read them.
I did,
That style
and I didn't
fantasy
care.
wasn't really my thing.
I read them, and I went, man, I was more into the Dune series and the old Isaac Asimov Foundation series stuff. That's what
Yeah,
I was down for,
I
and
was
what's
more
really
into
cool,
sci-fi, sci-fi and horror, mostly horror. A
fantasy
lot of
stuff. I mean,
Stephen,
I
like
did
a lot of
dig
Stephen
fantasy
King, a lot of
stuff.
Clive Barker. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like fantasy stuff, but I like things like Pierce Anthony and things like that, like the weird like Xanth series where it's all puns and crazy shit.
Mm.
I was into that, but Lord of the Rings not so much. I like Foundation, which they're bringing the Foundation to I think Apple. Apple's premiering the Foundation series, and
Oh,
that
really?
plus the Dune movie was supposed to be out now, but got pushed back to next year. Also down.
No shit. I didn't know they were making another Dune movie.
Oh shit, dude, Villeneuve, the guy who did like Blade Runner 2049 and did Arrival.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, dude, that's the guy doing it, and you got things like fucking like Batista being the Beast Raban. You got Oscar Isaac
Okay,
playing Duke Leto. I mean, it's gonna be two movies
interesting.
too. So there's
Yeah,
like yeah, once you get off stuff like that, check out the like they have a trailer out, and the trailer looks good, and
yeah. I
they've
almost
really
actually
good with the
did.
casting.
Yeah, I almost bought a shirt a couple of weeks ago, and I saw it online, and I was like, "No, I'm kind of bummed I didn't," because it didn't say anything else on it. It just said "Fear is the mind killer," and I was like, "I want this shirt, but I didn't want to pay $20 for it." So maybe I feel like I should have gotten it.
Now, yeah, but it's one of those. So yeah, that's so yeah. Sending from my stuff was what I like. So yeah, like that. But I enjoy good fantasy too. Just like Lord of the Rings is not my good fantasy. But Trolls really interesting based on ancient mythology. There's not been a lot of play recently, a lot about it, other than like in pop culture. Not like a lot of modern shit. Like not a lot of modern tales are talking about trolls doing weird shit today.
Yeah,
At least that we're
which
aware
is
of.
yeah. I mean, like, which is
Well,
kind
that
of
we're aware
surprising,
of.
honestly. Yeah, it's really surprising. I feel like I mean, it is typically the same lore for Norwegian, Scandinavian, everything. We went through that pretty much reiterated ourselves over and over. Like, yeah, but I am surprised that there's not more like movies like Troll Hunter or things like that.
I think a lot of it got co-opted. I think Troll, like the name, at least the name Troll, got co-opted by the dolls.
Yeah,
And so I think in a lot of respect and that sort of thing. That's why I think things like Shrek, the ogre, ogre is also I think a type of troll as well. I mean it's like you get into weird parlance. It's different, dude. It's all the fucking same thing. You're just calling it a
yeah.
different name because you're just coming from
I
a
mean,
different region.
yeah, they were mentioning trolls with just one eye, so it's like you mean a
Yeah.
cyclops?
Or multiple heads. Like there's Tales of Giants with multiple heads. So
Mm,
it's all one of those things. I go. It's just in the end, they're all kind of the same thing. It's just depending on where they come from, they have a different name. And rather than going, oh, a troll, which is also this, this, this. Oh, there's a troll, and then there's a this, and then there's a this, and really, it's all the fucking same thing. It's like Bigfoot and a Yeti.
yeah. Well, I will say I think what we've taken away from this entire episode is people out there should totally watch Troll Hunter.
Yes, it's a
It's
good
a
movie.
great movie. Well, one of my favorite parts. I mean, like, there's a lot of like amazing parts in there. And if the CGI was a little bit better, I think it could be like a well, is this real kind of movie? But one of my favorite parts is where they're on the bridge. They're looking for that bridge troll, and he's like takes a bucket of blood and starts like splashing it all over the bridge. And they're like, "What kind of blood is that?" And he was like, "It's Christian blood." He's like, where'd you get a bucket of Christian blood? And he just like stops and looks at him. You keep splashing blood everywhere.
Do you really want me to answer that question? No,
Yeah,
I
that was
think
my favorite part.
no, that's a good. That's really good. I think uh, when the trailer for it, like you're just watching the thing and you see that brief I think was like the trailer, like they're like driving or something like that, and then something throws the truck in front of them or something like that. You only got to catch
Mm,
a glimpse of the creature, and I think that's what I think you're right. CGI was a little too much. Like you got to see a little too much of the creature, that sort of thing. I think it should have been much more of a that 2 seconds and 1 second, and you let the mind fill in the
mm,
gaps.
yeah, yeah, but still, excellent movie.
Oh no, it's still thoroughly enjoyable. It said when it comes to those found quote unquote found footage film show movies, it's it's up there with like the Blair Witch, Wreck, which is really good.
Mm.
Uh, they redid
Cloverfield.
it.
That's one of my favorite found footage
Cloverfield's
movies.
another amazing one.
Mm.
Also really well done because it. Uh,
Also, all the crazy lore behind that movie, like it's ridiculous.
oh no, that's yeah. I mean, bad. The guys at Bad Robot.
Yeah,
They
their
took
their
something.
marketing campaign was just on it. Like they've been releasing stuff online for months, like fake news reports and like just different things, and like they made it look seem like it was something that was happening.
Oh yeah, between that and they learned a lot from Blair Witch, and
Mm.
because that was another fun one that the I think was the most successful movie of all time based on
Yeah,
investment is Blair Witch.
yeah, because they made it seem like it was a real thing that happened, and the advertising was very simple. You just see somebody running around, like the view of somebody running around with a camera. They don't really show anything, but then they don't even say the movie. Like for the first like
Well, what's
2 or 3
really
months they were
crazy is
advertising, they didn't say anything about it. They just showed it, and then it was like comes out on this date, and people were
well,
like, "I have to see this."
yeah, well, what's real so interesting is the fact is they actually because this is the '90s and so the internet wasn't quite as pervasive as it was now, but when they started filming that movie, they put out a website that had articles about the Blair Witch like a real thing. Then,
Mm-hmm.
so it'd been out for, like so like there's articles like basically no like oh yeah they just released it no this website showed these articles from like years ago because they released so they had all this stuff they planted that shit early so when
Mm-hmm.
people go to research it they think it's real
Yeah,
and then they put the actors on sequester, so no, like once they got done filming, they hid out for like 6 months. Nobody saw them
mm-hmm.
anywhere, so they couldn't spoil that either.
Yeah. And what that
Oh,
movie
that's a
had
really
like,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's a
movie
really
had
great
what like a
story.
$600 budget and then made billions.
Well, yeah, it basically they rented camera. Well, actually, they technically bought cameras, or and that they returned two of them. And yeah, no, it's really interesting. And plus, there's no crew. The crew was the actors. And
Mm.
everything was filmed by remote. Basically they had
Yeah,
basically as they go all right they leave little film canisters for each of the actors. It would
yeah,
tell
it
them
was.
what they're supposed to do today and kind of give them a direction, and then everything else is kind of improv. And
Yeah,
then
there was
they had to
no
run around the
no
woods for like three
celebrities.
weeks and so sleep deprived and shit.
Yeah, no celebrities. It was all just people who knew how to run a camera and had some acting skills.
Yeah, no, it's
They
really
did a
good.
great job at acting natural and everything.
Well, a lot of it comes back to they were getting sleep deprived. So like a lot of the stuff where they're seeing agony and weird shit is because they hadn't really slept in like 3 days because the people who created the show would scare them in the middle of the night so they weren't sleeping.
Did a good job. They tried to Kubrick them,
Yeah, that's right.
except I'm sure those people are fine now. Poor Shelley.
Uh, oh yeah, I think Heather Donahue was who was the girl. She had she was in a couple other films, but then kind of disappeared. And the other guys that were in it, I think one of them ended up doing a couple other films and kind of disappeared as well. And the other guy, I think, just went completely like not even in the business anymore.
Yeah,
But
man,
yeah,
we
and
should
then they
talk
made a
about
really
Kubrick and
shitty
the moon
sequel.
landing and everything.
Yeah, Kubrick, who was such an attention to detail that the only way he could pull it off properly was to actually go to the moon.
I love that theory though.
I mean, that's my favorite
Oh
thing. In
man.
fact, anyway, so that's where we're at tonight. So trolls, cool mythology, whether or not they're real or not, it's good mythology, good
Probably
stories.
not. It was probably, yeah, like we were saying earlier, probably just like pagans, and they were like, "Don't go to the woods. There's monsters over there. They don't like Christians."
Filthy, filthy, filthy pagans.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in and stuff like that. So, what you got anything going on now that you're
N-
done, pretty much done with the haunt, other than
No.
doing the last little show?
Yeah, I'm
Everything's
talking to some people. Yeah, I've got the party going on this weekend. That's a private party. Sorry, can't invite anybody out to that. But I've got a kids party on Sunday, and then I've got a couple of that's another private party. I can't invite anybody to that, And there's only enough beer for me. I can't have any guests. Um, it's a kids party. You can't do it sober. But no, no, nothing other than that. I got nothing
kids
going on.
parties have really, really weak open bars, anyways, so it's fair.
Well, it depends on the kids party.
That's fair.
I
How
did one a
young the
couple
kid
weeks
is?
ago, and like I showed up, and he was like, "You want a beer? What you need, man? Like I got you." And I was like, "I'll just take yeah." He actually got Lone Star for me, and he was like, he brought me out. He was like, "My wife we made these Jello shots in syringes." I was like, "Okay, cool, I'll take one." And he's like, "We squirt that," and then he's like, "Hey, you like whiskey?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Cool." And he goes and gets like Jack Daniel's honey or something. And I was like, "This is a children's party."
I'm gonna be too drunk to perform for the kids.
Yeah, and I was like, "No more, man. I still gotta juggle." Like,
I gotta keep from swearing.
yeah. No, he said I
All
could
right, well,
cuss. He
that's
was like, "We cuss. I don't care if you cuss, but you're not gonna get naked, are you?" I'm like, "It's a kids' party, man." Like, my favorite
that
thing
costs
though, he was like,
that costs more.
he kept saying like, he kept reminding me that he was Mexican, but he was like, I was trying to get everybody here early so they could see you. You know how Mexicans are; they don't show up on time. He just starts talking shit, and he was like, and then like okay, and then he sent me home with like some of the best pozole I've ever had.
Ooh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool,
it was
man.
amazing.
All right. So nothing else going on this week?
Mm-mm.
All right, cool.
I get to pop in and say hi to everybody on Friday, though. I'm pretty stoked about that.
That's cool. Yeah. That's very cool. That's for a private thing for everybody. If we do that
Mm-hmm.
weekly like
Yeah,
sketch show
fuck
as
y'all. You're
well.
not
Even though I
invited.
haven't been on the last couple of weeks because I've had other stuff going on, but I should be on this week for that. But anyway, so myself, I've got the Devil's Hour on Wednesday, where I've got a really great country artist from here in Austin by the name of Carson McCone, who's really good. Um, the Eventuals, who is kind of like a who's who of some really great Houston musicians, including AJ Santana and whatnot, who's a really good artist as well. But that's really cool. They just released a new single, so I'm going to highlight that. And then Strange for Hire, Donnie Vomit and Frankie Sin. So that's gonna be a lot of
Nice.
fun. I always love those guys. Then on Saturday, I've got somebody lined up. They're confirming with me this week. They have another thing that may be coming on for the G spot. If not, I'll do a movie. Yeah. And then,
There you go.
yeah, and when in doubt, movie. That's usually what else been going. But at the end of the month, on the 28th, we'll be having another edition of the Give a Hoot Great Southern Sanctuary Hoot Nanny Show, which will be right here at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. And yours truly, this guy. This time is going to be on the show. Scabs was on the last show. I'm on this one, and there's amazing talent. Let's see, we got Mysterion, the Mind Reader from Canada, is going to be on it. George the Giant. We've got the Odd World of Variety Show. Who else we got? We've got Louis Fox. We've got Funny Eddie, who's always funny.
Hey,
Yeah, Funny Eddie's so good. Um, who else we got? The Dr. Finnegan Circus is going to be doing some stuff.
nice. I love those guys. They were so much fun to see live.
Oh, they're so good. Those guys are so nice. I talk to Finnegan every once in a while, so I'm like basically it's like I've been trying to keep track with these people. It's like they go, all right, cool, when stuff is cool again, which is hopefully will be next sometime soon. We'll get together again, and you guys come through this way, or I'll make my way up that way. And
Oh
he's on
yeah,
my list. They're on my list. Yeah, like they're up in like the Massachusetts area, so definitely
right
looking to
on.
do so. Yeah,
Hell
so
yeah.
that's what's going on. And then next week we're gonna be talking. We're gonna talk Hollywood. We're gonna
Oh
talk
yeah.
weird shit about Hollywood stuff, like old mythology stuff, ranging anywhere from things like I don't know, like Black Dahlia to probably a little bit of Marilyn Monroe, maybe,
How many people
uh,
have jumped off the Hollywood sign and committed suicide?
stuff like that. Hotel Roosevelt, which has got a lot of
Yeah.
weird, crazy shit.
Mhm.
Uh,
I've been to the Hotel Roosevelt. I mean, we just walked in, looked around, and walk out. That's it.
yeah.
Didn't stay there. Probably could never afford to stay there.
My understanding is not terribly expensive.
Oh yeah. I figured it would be. Maybe people are just terrified of it, and they're like, "Please stay here."
Well, my understanding is like a real. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it may be like upper mid sort of stuff. I mean, it's not cheap. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's not like it's not like a Four Seasons.
Yeah, true.
But I could be wrong. I don't know. It's like for some reason I might be thinking of a different hotel that also is just as storied out
Yeah.
that way as well. I don't know. Anyway, that's where we're gonna talk Hollywood next week because that should be fun. And I know lots of weird fucking Hollywood trivia because that's where my jam is. But thank you guys
And I
so
know
much for
some, and
tuning.
I'll look up some more. I'll look up some weird shit.
Yeah, well, we always that's how it works, and then we'll digress into something because we always do. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And for those people watching later, thank you for watching later as well. We totally appreciate it. Make sure you try to tune in live. 7:30. You can get in the chat. You can chat with us. We like chatting with people. While we like talking to each other because this is the only time we get to see each other really. Like usually
Yeah.
Mondays was always a long time for us hanging out, anyways. When I was living in
Yeah.
Houston, so it's their
Yep.
continuation.
We went to
It's just
church on
cheaper
Mondays.
drinks.
Yeah. We went to church every Monday.
Yeah, but
Sometimes we
it's
sang.
not.
We definitely
It's
drank,
not.
though.
Yeah, that's true. The church really isn't a thing anymore. So anyway, you guys be cool, be safe, be groovy, and we'll see you guys soon. And until then, keep drinking.